The Stoic Heart. Mastering yourself to attract the woman you desire. Beyond the surface, the magnetic power of self-mastery. In a world saturated with dating advice that often feels superficial and manipulative, a deeper truth remains largely unspoken. True attraction isn't about outward appearances, wealth, or even clever pickup lines. It's about the profound, magnetic power of self-mastery. This is a concept that echoes through the ages, from the ancient philosophers to the modern-day relationship gurus, and it's a principle that, when truly understood and applied, can transform not just your dating life, but every facet of your existence. Forget the outdated notions of chasing women, showering them with gifts, or pretending to be someone you're not. The real key to unlocking a woman's heart lies within you, in your ability to cultivate emotional strength, unwavering confidence, and a deep sense of inner peace. This isn't about becoming a robotic, emotionless figure. It's about learning to master your emotions, to respond to the world with intention and clarity, rather than reacting impulsively. This essay delves into the profound wisdom of Stoicism and how its principles can be practically applied to attract the woman you desire, not through manipulation or deceit, but through the genuine power of self-mastery. We'll explore how to cultivate inner strength, communicate authentically, and build a life that naturally attracts the right kind of connection. Because the truth is, women aren't looking for someone to complete them. They're looking for someone who is already whole, confident, and living a life of purpose. Are you ready to embark on this journey of self-discovery and unlock the secrets to lasting attraction? Part 1. The Myth of the Chase. Why traditional dating advice fails. For generations, men have been bombarded with a specific narrative about how to attract women. It's a narrative that often centers around the idea of the chase, where men are encouraged to pursue women relentlessly, showering them with attention, gifts, and compliments in the hopes of winning them over. This approach, often fueled by societal pressures and outdated stereotypes, is not only ineffective, but can also be deeply detrimental to a man's self-esteem and sense of worth. The core problem with this approach lies in its fundamental misunderstanding of what truly attracts women. It assumes that women are simply looking for someone who is willing to put in the most effort, spend the most money, or say the most flattering things. But the reality is far more nuanced. Women are inherently perceptive and can easily detect when a man is putting on an act, trying too hard to impress, or lacking genuine self-confidence. The more a man tries to win her over, the more he inadvertently reveals his own insecurities and need for validation, which ultimately pushes her away. This chase mentality also perpetuates a power dynamic that is inherently unequal and unsustainable. It positions the man as the pursuer and the woman as the pursued, creating a sense of imbalance that can lead to resentment and dissatisfaction on both sides. Moreover, the chase often encourages men to compromise their own values and interests in an attempt to please the woman they are pursuing. They may find themselves agreeing with her opinions, laughing at her jokes, or engaging in activities that they don't truly enjoy, all in the hopes of gaining her approval. This kind of behavior is not only disingenuous, but also ultimately undermines a man's own sense of self-worth. When a man abandons his own identity in pursuit of a woman, he loses the very qualities that made him attractive in the first place. He becomes a mere shadow of himself, desperately seeking validation from someone else, rather than living a life of purpose and authenticity. The cycle of rejection and disappointment that often follows the chase can be incredibly damaging to a man's self-esteem. He may begin to internalize the belief that he is not good enough, not attractive enough, or not worthy of love. This can lead to a downward spiral of self-doubt, anxiety, and even depression. It's time to break free from this outdated and ineffective approach to dating. It's time to abandon the myth of the chase and embrace a new paradigm of attraction, one that is based on self-mastery, authenticity, and genuine connection. Expanding on the downfalls of the chase. The traditional dating paradigm often promotes a series of harmful behaviors that contribute to its ultimate failure. Let's dissect some of these key issues. Neediness and validation seeking. When a man relentlessly pursues a woman, he often inadvertently projects an aura of neediness. He's essentially saying, I need your attention and approval to feel good about myself. This is a major turnoff. Women are generally attracted to men who are self-sufficient and emotionally secure. They want a partner, not a project. This neediness manifests in constant texting, excessive compliments, and a desperate desire to please. It's a transparent attempt to fill an internal void, and it's rarely effective. Compromising values and identity. To gain a woman's favor, some men will abandon their own hobbies, interests, and even values. They might pretend to like things they don't, agree with opinions they disagree with, and generally morph into someone they think the woman wants them to be. This is not only unsustainable in the long run, but also incredibly unattractive. Authenticity is key to genuine connection. Women are drawn to men who know who they are, stand for something, and aren't afraid to be themselves. Trying to be someone else sends the message that you lack confidence in your own identity. Ignoring red flags. The desperation to win a woman can blind men to red flags and warning signs. They might overlook disrespectful behavior, inconsistent communication, or a general lack of interest. They're so focused on the potential of the relationship that they ignore the reality of the situation. This can lead to being taken advantage of, emotionally manipulated, or simply wasting time on someone who isn't truly interested, creating an unrealistic power dynamic. The chase inherently establishes an unequal power dynamic, with the man in the position of pursuer and the woman in the position of being pursued. This can create a sense of entitlement on the woman's part and resentment on the man's part. It's a dynamic built on insecurity and a lack of self-worth, rather than mutual respect and genuine attraction. This imbalance will eventually lead to problems in the relationship. Depleting resources. The relentless pursuit of a woman can drain a man's time, energy, and finances. He might spend money on expensive dates, gifts, and other attempts to impress her, all while neglecting his own goals and priorities. This is not only unsustainable, but also sends the message that his own well-being is less important than gaining her approval. It's a recipe for burnout and resentment. Failing to develop self-worth. Perhaps the most damaging aspect of the chase is that it prevents men from developing genuine self-worth. They become so focused on external validation that they never learn to appreciate themselves for who they are. This lack of self-worth will permeate all aspects of their lives, not just their dating life. True attraction comes from a place of inner confidence and self-acceptance, not from external validation. Part 2. The Stoic Foundation, Building Inner Strength and Emotional Mastery. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that originated in Greece and flourished in Rome, offers a powerful antidote to the anxieties and insecurities that often plague modern dating. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or becoming an emotionless robot. It's about understanding and mastering your emotions so that you can respond to the world with clarity, reason, and unwavering inner peace. At its core, Stoicism teaches that we cannot control external events, but we can control our reactions to them. This simple yet profound principle holds the key to overcoming the emotional roller coaster that many men experience in their dating lives. Instead of being tossed around by the winds of circumstance, the Stoic man cultivates an inner anchor of stability, allowing him to navigate the challenges of relationships with grace and resilience. The first step in embracing Stoicism is to recognize the difference between what is within our control and what is not. We cannot control whether a woman is attracted to us, whether she chooses to go on a date with us, or whether she decides to stay in a relationship with us. These are all external factors that are beyond our direct influence. However, we can control our own thoughts, emotions, and actions. We can control how we respond to rejection, how we manage our expectations, and how we treat ourselves and others. By focusing our energy on what we can control, we can cultivate a sense of inner peace and empowerment, regardless of external circumstances. Another key principle of Stoicism is the concept of virtue. Stoic philosophers believe that the ultimate goal of life is to live in accordance with virtue, which encompasses qualities such as wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. When applied to dating, this means striving to be a good person, regardless of the outcome of our romantic pursuits. It means treating women with respect and kindness, being honest and authentic, and living a life of integrity. By focusing on virtue, we shift our attention away from the pursuit of external validation and towards the cultivation of inner character. We become more concerned with being a good person than with being liked or admired. This shift in perspective can be incredibly liberating and empowering. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of self-awareness. To master our emotions, we must first understand them. We must be able to identify our triggers, recognize our patterns of thought and behavior, and understand the underlying beliefs that drive our emotions. This requires a willingness to look inward, to confront our own flaws and insecurities, and to engage in honest self-reflection. Through self-awareness, we can begin to break free from the automatic reactions that often lead to disappointment and frustration in dating. We can learn to pause, to observe our emotions without judgment, and to choose a more rational and constructive response. Finally, Stoicism teaches the importance of resilience. Life is full of challenges and setbacks, and dating is no exception. Rejection, disappointment, and heartbreak are all inevitable parts of the process. The Stoic man doesn't try to avoid these experiences. He embraces them as opportunities for growth and learning. He understands that setbacks are temporary and that they don't define his worth as a person. He uses these experiences to strengthen his resolve, to refine his approach, and to become a more resilient and compassionate human being. By embracing the principles of Stoicism, men can cultivate the inner strength, emotional mastery, and resilience that are essential for attracting the woman they desire, not through manipulation or deceit, but through the genuine power of self-mastery. Expanding on Stoic principles in dating, let's explore specific ways that Stoic principles can be applied to dating. Acceptance of rejection. Rejection is inevitable in dating. A Stoic approach involves accepting that you cannot control another person's feelings or choices. Instead of dwelling on the rejection, analyze what you can learn from the experience and move on. Don't take it personally, and don't let it define your self-worth. Remember, someone else's rejection doesn't diminish your value. Focusing on what you can control. You can't control whether a woman finds you attractive, but you can control your appearance, your communication skills, your confidence, and the effort you put into getting to know someone. Focus on improving these aspects of yourself, rather than obsessing over what you can't control. This empowers you to take action and build a stronger sense of self. Managing expectations. Avoid getting too invested too early in a potential relationship. Keep your expectations realistic and understand that dating is a process of exploration and discovery. Don't create elaborate fantasies or idealize the other person. This will protect you from disappointment if things don't work out. Practicing gratitude. Instead of focusing on what you don't have in your dating life, practice gratitude for what you do have. Appreciate the opportunities you have to meet new people, the lessons you learn from each experience, and the friendships you build along the way. Gratitude shifts your focus to the positive aspects of your life and reduces feelings of negativity and resentment. Developing self-sufficiency. Don't rely on a relationship to make you happy or complete. Cultivate your own interests, hobbies, and friendships. Build a fulfilling life outside of dating. This will make you a more attractive partner and prevent you from becoming overly dependent on someone else. Living with virtue. Strive to be a good person in all aspects of your life, including your dating life. Treat others with respect, honesty, and kindness. Be mindful of your actions and their impact on others. This will not only attract better people into your life, but also contribute to your own sense of inner peace and integrity. Practicing mindfulness. Be present in the moment when you are on a date. Pay attention to what the other person is saying and doing. Avoid getting distracted by your own thoughts or anxieties. Mindfulness allows you to connect more deeply with others and create a more meaningful experience. Embracing discomfort. dating can be uncomfortable and challenging. Don't avoid these experiences. Embrace them as opportunities for growth. Stepping outside of your comfort zone will help you build confidence and resilience. Seeking wisdom. Read books, listen to podcasts, and learn from the experiences of others. Continually seek knowledge and understanding about relationships, communication, and self-improvement. This will help you make better decisions and navigate the complexities of dating with greater wisdom. Maintaining emotional equilibrium. Don't let the ups and downs of dating control your emotions. Practice techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, and journaling to manage your stress and maintain a sense of inner peace. Emotional stability is a key ingredient for attracting a healthy and lasting relationship. Part 3. Words that connect. Authentic communication and deeper connections. The transcript rightly highlights that communication is critical. While action matters, your words have the power to forge deep connections, to make someone feel seen, understood, and valued. However, the traditional dating advice often emphasizes cleverness, wit, or even manipulation to get a woman's attention. This approach is not only disingenuous, but also ultimately ineffective in building lasting relationships. The Stoic approach to communication is rooted in authenticity, empathy, and genuine curiosity. It's about speaking your truth with kindness and respect, listening attentively to others, and striving to understand their perspectives. It's about building connections based on genuine human connection, rather than superficial charm or manipulative tactics. One of the most powerful tools in a Stoic communicator's arsenal is the art of active listening. This involves not just hearing the words that someone is saying, but truly understanding their message, their emotions, and their underlying needs. Active listening requires paying attention, asking clarifying questions, and reflecting back what you've heard to ensure that you've understood correctly. It also involves suspending your own judgment and biases and approaching the conversation with an open mind. When a woman feels truly heard and understood, she is more likely to feel safe, respected, and valued. This creates a foundation of trust and intimacy that can lead to deeper and more meaningful connections. Another key element of Stoic communication is the practice of speaking with intention. This means choosing your words carefully, avoiding gossip and negativity, and focusing on expressing your thoughts and feelings in a clear and constructive manner. It also means being mindful of the impact that your words have on others and striving to communicate in a way that is both honest and compassionate. The Stoic communicator also understands the importance of nonverbal communication. Body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice can all convey powerful messages, often more powerfully than words alone. The Stoic man cultivates a calm and confident demeanor, making eye contact, maintaining an open posture, and speaking with a steady and reassuring tone of voice. These nonverbal cues communicate a sense of trustworthiness, self-assurance, and genuine interest. Furthermore, a Stoic communicator avoids empty flattery and insincere compliments. Women can easily detect when someone is trying to manipulate them with superficial praise. Instead, the Stoic man focuses on offering genuine compliments that are based on specific observations and sincere appreciation. He might compliment a woman's intelligence, her creativity, her kindness, or her passion for a particular cause. These kinds of compliments show that he is truly paying attention and that he values her for who she is as a person, not just for her physical appearance. Finally, the Stoic communicator understands the importance of setting boundaries and speaking his truth, even when it's difficult. He doesn't shy away from expressing his opinions, sharing his feelings, or asserting his needs. However, he does so with kindness, respect, and a willingness to listen to the other person's perspective. By communicating authentically and assertively, the Stoic man builds relationships based on mutual respect, trust, and genuine understanding. He attracts women who value his honesty, integrity, and unwavering commitment to living a life of virtue. Deeper dive into authentic communication strategies. Let's break down specific communication strategies that align with Stoic principles. The power of genuine curiosity. Instead of focusing on impressing a woman with your own accomplishments or stories, Shift your focus to asking her questions and truly listening to her answers. Show genuine curiosity about her life, her experiences, her passions, and her dreams. Ask open-ended questions that encourage her to elaborate and share her thoughts and feelings. Mirroring and validation. Mirroring involves subtly reflecting back the other person's body language, tone of voice, and even their word choices. This creates a sense of rapport and connection, as it signals that you are paying attention and understanding them. Validation involves acknowledging and affirming their feelings and experiences, even if you don't necessarily agree with them. This shows that you are empathetic and compassionate, and that you respect their perspective. Sharing vulnerability. Appropriately, while Stoicism emphasizes emotional control, it doesn't mean suppressing your emotions entirely. Sharing your vulnerability in an appropriate and measured way can be a powerful way to build intimacy and trust. Talk about your challenges, your fears, and your insecurities, but do so in a way that is honest and self-aware, rather than self-pitying or attention-seeking. Expressing appreciation. Don't take the small things for granted. Express your appreciation for the things that a woman does for you, both big and small. A simple thank you can go a long way in making someone feel valued and respected. Be specific in your appreciation, explaining why you appreciate what they did and how it made you feel. Using I statements. When expressing your feelings or concerns, use I statements rather than you statements. This helps you take ownership of your emotions and avoid blaming or accusing the other person. For example, instead of saying, "You always make me feel insecure," say, "I feel insecure when." Mindful silence. Don't feel the need to fill every silence with chatter. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to simply be present and listen. Comfortable silence can create a sense of intimacy and connection, as it signals that you are comfortable being yourself and that you don't feel the need to impress the other person. Avoiding judgment. Approach conversations with an open mind and a non-judgmental attitude. Avoid making assumptions or jumping to conclusions about the other person's thoughts, feelings, or intentions. Listen to their perspective without interrupting or trying to formulate a response. Embracing imperfection. Don't strive for perfection in your communication. Everyone makes mistakes and says the wrong thing sometimes. Embrace your imperfections and be willing to apologize when you've made a mistake. This shows that you are humble, self-aware, and willing to learn from your experiences. Setting boundaries respectfully. Authentic communication also means setting boundaries and asserting your needs in a respectful and assertive way. Don't be afraid to say no to things that you don't want to do or that compromise your values. Communicate your boundaries clearly and calmly, and be willing to stand your ground if necessary. Seeking feedback. Ask for feedback from trusted friends or family members about your communication style. Be open to hearing constructive criticism and willing to make changes if necessary. This shows that you are committed to improving your communication skills and building stronger relationships. Part 4. Actions grounded in Stoicism. Body language, purposeful movement, and small gestures. The transcript emphasizes the importance of actions aligning with words. It's not enough to say the right things. You must be the right kind of man. Stoicism provides a framework for aligning your actions with your values, cultivating a sense of inner confidence, and exuding an aura of strength and self-assuredness. This is not about putting on an act or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about cultivating genuine inner strength and allowing that strength to radiate outward in your actions and demeanor. One of the most powerful ways to communicate confidence and self-assurance is through your body language. The Stoic man cultivates a posture of strength and openness, standing tall with his shoulders relaxed, making eye contact, and maintaining an open and inviting demeanor. He avoids slouching, fidgeting, or crossing his arms, as these nonverbal cues can signal insecurity and anxiety. He moves with purpose and intention, avoiding hurried or frantic movements. He speaks with a clear and steady voice, avoiding hesitation or mumbling. These subtle changes in body language can have a profound impact on how you are perceived by others, projecting an aura of confidence and self-assurance that naturally attracts women. Another key element of Stoic action is the concept of purposeful movement. The Stoic man doesn't wander aimlessly or engage in mindless activities. He approaches each task with intention and focus, knowing why he is doing what he is doing and striving to do it to the best of his ability. This sense of purpose and direction is incredibly attractive to women, as it signals that you are a man who is in control of his life and who is committed to achieving his goals. Furthermore, the Stoic man understands the power of small gestures. He doesn't try to impress women with grand romantic gestures or expensive gifts. Instead, he focuses on showing his appreciation and affection through small, thoughtful actions that demonstrate his genuine care and concern. He might bring her a cup of coffee in the morning, offer to help her with a task, or simply listen attentively when she is talking. These small gestures can have a profound impact on a woman's heart, as they signal that you are paying attention, that you care about her well-being, and that you are willing to go the extra mile to make her feel loved and appreciated. The Stoic man also understands the importance of self-discipline and self-control. He doesn't indulge in impulsive or reckless behaviors that could jeopardize his health, his relationships, or his goals. He cultivates habits of moderation and temperance, avoiding excesses in food, drink, and other pleasures. This self-discipline is not about depriving himself of enjoyment. It's about exercising control over his desires and ensuring that his actions are aligned with his values and goals. Finally, the Stoic man understands the importance of taking responsibility for his actions. He doesn't blame others for his mistakes or make excuses for his shortcomings. He takes ownership of his actions and strives to learn from his experiences, both positive and negative. This sense of accountability and responsibility is incredibly attractive to women, as it signals that you are a man of integrity and character. By aligning your actions with your values, cultivating inner confidence, and exuding an aura of strength and self-assuredness, you can attract the woman you desire, not through manipulation or deceit, but through the genuine power of your character and your commitment to living a life of virtue. Specific actions that reflect Stoic principles. Let's explore actionable examples of how to embody Stoic principles through your actions. Mastering your posture. Your posture speaks volumes before you even utter a word. Stand tall with your shoulders relaxed, head held high, and core engaged. This exudes confidence and self-assuredness. Avoid slouching or hunching over, as this can signal insecurity or a lack of self-esteem. Maintaining eye contact. Eye contact is a powerful way to connect with others and communicate sincerity. Make consistent eye contact with the person you're talking to, but avoid staring or making them feel uncomfortable. A natural and genuine gaze conveys confidence and interest. Moving with deliberateness. Avoid rushing or fidgeting. Move with purpose and intention, taking deliberate steps and avoiding unnecessary movements. This signals that you are in control of yourself and your surroundings. Practicing active listening. When someone is talking to you, give them your full attention. Put away your phone, make eye contact, and focus on what they are saying. Ask clarifying questions and summarize their points to ensure that you understand them correctly. Demonstrating empathy. Show that you care about the other person's feelings and experiences. Listen to their concerns and offer support and encouragement. Validate their emotions and let them know that you understand what they are going through. Being reliable and dependable. Follow through on your commitments and be someone that others can count on. This builds trust and demonstrates your integrity. If you say you're going to do something, make sure you do it. Taking care of your physical health. Your physical health is a reflection of your self-respect and discipline. Eat a healthy diet, exercise regularly, and get enough sleep. This will improve your energy levels, your mood, and your overall well-being. Pursuing your passions. Invest time and energy into your hobbies, interests, and passions. This shows that you are a well-rounded person with a fulfilling life outside of dating. It also makes you a more interesting and engaging partner. Giving back to your community. Volunteer your time or donate to a cause that you care about. This demonstrates your compassion and your commitment to making a positive impact on the world. Continuously learning and growing. Never stop learning and growing as a person. Read books, take courses, and seek out new experiences. This shows that you are intellectually curious and committed to personal development. Practicing self-control. Exercise self-control in all areas of your life, including your diet, your spending habits, and your emotional reactions. This demonstrates your discipline and your ability to manage your impulses. Owning your mistakes. Take responsibility for your mistakes and apologize sincerely when you have wronged someone. This shows that you are humble, self-aware, and committed to learning from your experiences. Setting healthy boundaries. Learn to say no to things that you don't want to do or that compromise your values. This protects your time, your energy, and your well-being. Being mindful of your language. Use positive and empowering language when talking to yourself and to others. Avoid negative self-talk and focus on expressing gratitude and appreciation. Practicing forgiveness. Forgive yourself and others for past mistakes. Holding on to anger and resentment will only weigh you down and prevent you from moving forward. Part 5. Applying Stoicism in modern relationships. Navigating challenges and maintaining equilibrium. The true test of Stoicism lies in its application to real-life situations, particularly those that are challenging or stressful. In the context of modern relationships, this means navigating conflicts, managing expectations, and maintaining emotional equilibrium in the face of adversity. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to become reactive, defensive, or even desperate. However, the Stoic man understands that these reactions are often counterproductive and that they can ultimately damage the relationship. Instead, he strives to maintain a calm and rational perspective, focusing on what he can control and accepting what he cannot. Let's consider some specific scenarios where Stoicism can be applied to navigate the challenges of modern relationships. Scenario 1. Disagreements and conflicts. Disagreements are inevitable in any relationship. The Stoic approach to conflict resolution involves approaching the situation with a calm and rational mindset, focusing on understanding the other person's perspective and seeking a mutually agreeable solution. This means avoiding personal attacks, active listening, and expressing your own needs and feelings in a clear and assertive manner. It also means being willing to compromise and to let go of the need to be right. Scenario 2. Jealousy and insecurity. Jealousy and insecurity can be destructive forces in a relationship. The Stoic approach to managing these emotions involves recognizing that they are often rooted in fear and a lack of self-worth. This means working on building your own self-esteem, trusting your partner, and focusing on what you can control, which is your own thoughts and actions. It also means communicating your needs and concerns openly and honestly, without resorting to accusations or manipulative tactics. Scenario 3. Disappointment and betrayal. Disappointment and betrayal can be deeply painful experiences. The Stoic approach to dealing with these situations involves acknowledging the pain, allowing yourself to grieve, and then focusing on what you can learn from the experience. This means avoiding dwelling on the past, accepting that you cannot change what has happened, and choosing to move forward with wisdom and resilience. It also means setting healthy boundaries and being willing to let go of relationships that are no longer serving your best interests. Scenario 4. Loss and grief. Loss and grief are inevitable parts of life. The Stoic approach to dealing with these experiences involves accepting the reality of the situation, allowing yourself to feel the pain, and then focusing on what you can control, which is your own thoughts and actions. This means honoring the memory of the person or thing that you have lost, finding ways to cope with your grief, and choosing to move forward with hope and purpose. Scenario 5. Communication breakdowns. Misunderstandings and communication breakdowns can occur in any relationship. The Stoic approach to resolving these issues involves taking responsibility for your own communication style, actively listening to the other person's perspective, and seeking to clarify any confusion or ambiguity. This means avoiding assumptions, asking clarifying questions, and expressing your own thoughts and feelings in a clear and concise manner. Scenario 6. External pressures. Relationships are often subject to external pressures, such as financial stress, family conflicts, or career challenges. The Stoic approach to dealing with these pressures involves working together as a team, communicating openly and honestly, and focusing on what you can control, which is your own thoughts and actions. This means supporting each other, setting realistic expectations, and seeking professional help if needed. By applying the principles of Stoicism to the challenges of modern relationships, you can cultivate a sense of inner peace, resilience, and emotional stability. You can navigate conflicts with grace and compassion, manage your emotions with wisdom and self-control, and build relationships that are based on mutual respect, trust, and genuine understanding. Expanding on practical applications in specific scenarios. Here's a deeper dive into how to apply Stoicism in various relationship scenarios. Dealing with criticism. Instead of becoming defensive or taking criticism personally, try to view it objectively. Ask clarifying questions to understand the other person's perspective. Look for the truth in their criticism and use it as an opportunity to improve yourself. Remember, criticism is not an attack on your character, but rather an opportunity for growth. Responding to anger. When someone is angry with you, resist the urge to retaliate or become defensive. Instead, remain calm and listen to their concerns. Acknowledge their feelings and validate their perspective. Avoid escalating the conflict by raising your voice or becoming argumentative. Give them space to cool down and then address the issue rationally. Managing expectations. Unrealistic expectations are a major source of disappointment in relationships. Communicate your expectations clearly and openly, but also be willing to adjust them based on the realities of the situation. Avoid idealizing your partner or the relationship. Remember, everyone has flaws and imperfections. Confronting cheating or betrayal. Discovering that your partner has cheated or betrayed you is one of the most painful experiences in a relationship. The Stoic approach involves acknowledging the pain, but also focusing on what you can control, which is your response. Avoid seeking revenge or dwelling on the past. Decide whether you can forgive and rebuild the relationship or whether it's best to move on. Coping with loss or breakup. The end of a relationship can be devastating. Allow yourself to grieve the loss, but also focus on what you can learn from the experience. Avoid blaming yourself or the other person. Remember, breakups are a part of life, and they can be opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Navigating long-distance relationships. Long-distance relationships can be challenging, but they can also be rewarding. Communicate regularly and openly with your partner. Set clear expectations and boundaries. Focus on maintaining intimacy and connection through virtual means. Visit each other as often as possible. Dealing with family interference. Family interference can be a major source of stress in a relationship. Set healthy boundaries with your family and communicate them clearly to your partner. Support each other in navigating these challenges. Prioritize your relationship and protect it from external interference. Balancing career and relationship. Juggling a demanding career with a relationship can be challenging. Communicate your needs and priorities clearly to your partner. Schedule dedicated time for each other and make the most of that time. Support each other's career goals and be willing to compromise when necessary. Addressing financial issues. Financial issues are a common source of conflict in relationships. Communicate openly and honestly about your finances. Create a budget and stick to it. Make financial decisions together. Avoid hiding financial problems from each other. Maintaining intimacy and connection. As relationships mature, it's important to make a conscious effort to maintain intimacy and connection. Schedule regular date nights. Express your love and appreciation for each other. Try new things together. Keep the spark alive. Part 6. Be true to yourself. The foundation of genuine attraction. The transcript underscores that authenticity is non-negotiable. All the Stoic principles, communication techniques, and action strategies are ultimately meaningless if they are not rooted in genuine self-acceptance and self-love. You cannot attract the right woman by pretending to be someone you're not. You can only attract her by being your authentic self, flaws and all. This means embracing your strengths and weaknesses, owning your past experiences, and living your life in accordance with your values. It means being honest with yourself and with others about who you are, what you want, and what you believe in. It also means being willing to take risks, to step outside of your comfort zone, and to pursue your passions, even if it means facing criticism or rejection. When you are true to yourself, you radiate a sense of confidence, authenticity, and self-respect that is incredibly attractive to women. They are drawn to your genuine character, your unwavering commitment to your values, and your willingness to be vulnerable and authentic. They are not looking for someone who is perfect or who has all the answers. They're looking for someone who is real, who is honest, and who is comfortable being themselves. Being true to yourself also means setting healthy boundaries and asserting your needs in a respectful and assertive manner. You cannot build a healthy and fulfilling relationship if you are constantly compromising your own needs and values to please someone else. You must be willing to say no to things that you don't want to do or that compromise your integrity. You must be willing to express your opinions and feelings, even when they are unpopular or controversial. When you set healthy boundaries and assert your needs, you communicate a sense of self-respect and self-worth that is incredibly attractive to women. They are drawn to your strength of character, your unwavering commitment to your own well-being, and your willingness to stand up for what you believe in. Furthermore, being true to yourself means living a life of purpose and meaning. You cannot attract the right woman if you are simply drifting through life without any clear goals or direction. You must be passionate about something, whether it's your career, your hobbies, your family, or your community. You must be committed to making a positive impact on the world in whatever way is meaningful to you. When you live a life of purpose and meaning, you radiate a sense of passion, enthusiasm, and fulfillment that is incredibly attractive to women. They are drawn to your energy, your drive, and your commitment to making a difference. Concrete ways to cultivate authenticity. Let's break down practical steps to cultivate and express your authentic self. Self-reflection and journaling. Spend time reflecting on your values, your beliefs, your passions, and your goals. What truly matters to you? What makes you feel alive? What kind of person do you want to be? Journaling can be a powerful tool for exploring your inner world and gaining clarity about your authentic self. Identifying your strengths and weaknesses. Be honest with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses. What are you good at? What are you not so good at? Embrace your strengths and work on improving your weaknesses. Don't try to be someone you're not. Accepting your past. Everyone has a past, and it's important to accept it rather than trying to deny it or hide it. Learn from your past experiences, both positive and negative, and use them to shape who you are today. Embracing vulnerability. Don't be afraid to show your vulnerability to others. It's okay to be imperfect and to admit when you're struggling. Vulnerability is a sign of strength, not weakness. Expressing your emotions. Don't suppress your emotions. Allow yourself to feel your feelings fully and express.